Hey guys, how's it going? In this video I'm going to do a quick comparison review between the Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise and First Edition Arcee. Now you're probably looking at this and wondering yourself, why is the Transformers Prime Arcee so mistransformed? Well, there's a very simple reason for that. When you have her properly transformed into motorcycle mode, she tends to topple over on her kickstand, which is definitely a slight against the vehicle mode of the RID Arcee. Whereas the first edition, she stands pretty well on her kickstand. Real nice. I'm really enjoying, that little feature of the, of the toy. And in fact, the first edition, as you're probably aware of, comes with these little bad boys, and you can attach them to the side of the cycle, which gives it even more stability. But anyway, before I get into all that, I'm just going to bring the first edition a little bit closer into the camera here, and you can see this toy is a really good representation of RC's on-screen counterpart, the Transformers Prime show. Really nice looking motorcycle mode overall. Very, very cool. I definitely dig it. Now, I'll go ahead and grab the Robots in Disguise version, and it looks pretty good too. Looks-wise, I'd say it looks just as good as the first edition in vehicle mode. It's a little bit different, but I think they both look great. But like I said, the main problem with this figure is its stability standing. Now, one neat thing to note about this figure is there is a Generations Chromia toy on the horizon, and this is the mold that they're going to be basing that toy off of. Hopefully it stands better in motorcycle mode, but I guess we'll find out when the time comes. Anyway, now these little blades here, they come with first edition. One neat little thing about those is they mount up on this version Arcee just fine. Just the same as they do on the actual first edition toy itself, which of course does at least give her a little more stability. Now, let's see if we can just line these up properly. There we go. And she does stand better. Oops, maybe not a lot better, but somewhat better with those blades on. But they can mount on there, which is really an appreciated touch. They didn't come with this figure, but they are compatible with it. They add a little bit to the look. Let me go ahead and pop those off of the RID version here. Come on, there we go. Set that down, and then I'll go ahead and put these on the first edition. Just bear with me here, guys. It's been a while since I've done this. You kind of get to see me fail at this a little bit because I haven't really messed with this figure a whole lot lately. Oh, okay, that's how they go. Alright. Alright, got it. There we go. Okay. And they give first edition Arcee great stability in vehicle mode. I mean, absolutely outstanding. Let me just go ahead and get a little bit closer here. And that looks pretty darn cool, I think. So I have to say, in vehicle mode, first edition handily beats the RID version by a wide margin, I'd say. Just not really due to the looks, more just due to the stability. Now, as far as scale goes, it's really bad with Arcee. You just go ahead and grab Bumblebee. And the fact that the motorcycles are so tall compared to the car, yeah, that's not so hot. And I'll go ahead and grab Voyager Optimus here. Still does not scale well at all. Anyway, that's pretty much going to wrap up their vehicle modes. I'll be back in a flash to talk about their robot modes. Alright guys, here we have the two RCs transformed into their robot modes, and as you can see, the first edition is much taller than the RID version. I mean, it's she's quite a bit taller. It's there's a real big difference there. Anyway, let's go ahead and just get a few quick size comparisons out of the way. We'll start off with first edition Bumblebee. And Arcee is taller than Bumblebee, at least first edition is, which is, you know, funny. Anyway, let's get him out of the way. And we'll go ahead and grab our good buddy first edition Optimus. And they scale okay with him. Maybe it should be still a tad bit smaller since they are motorcycles, but c'est la vie. Let's get Optimus out of the way. And now we'll just talk about the figures individually. We'll start off with first edition Arcee. Let me just go ahead and zoom in a little bit. She just fell over, but that's okay. Just go ahead and focus on her primarily. And I have to say, I think she looks pretty good in robot mode. You know, very nice mold, no doubt about it. You know, well done, looks good from all angles. She is absolutely loaded down with articulation. She doesn't really have anything going on in the foot. She bends there at the knee really far. She's got the thigh swivel. Hips are on a ball joint, so all directions for her hips. She does have waist rotation. Her shoulders are on ball joints, so all directions at her shoulders. She's got a double hinged elbow. Rotation there at the top of the bicep. Her hands, they don't rotate, but they kind of, you know, the way they fold up for transformation, they can move in and out. And her head is on a ball joint. Overall, she is a great mold. There's no doubt about it. And as far as her accessories go in this mode, you have a few different options. You can, if you want, you can stow her weapons, her two blades that she comes with, on her legs. They mount on just fine. And they look pretty cool on her legs, actually. I mean, you know, they look imposing in my opinion, just really cool. And of course, just like on the show, you can mount them underneath her arms. And they become attack blades. Yeah, which is pretty cool, so she can get in there and do some pretty major melee combat. Overall, it's a very cool mold. I definitely like this Arcee quite a bit. Let me go ahead and just zoom in on her head sculpt, because I think she's got a great head sculpt. As you can see, that's pretty darn show accurate. It looks really nice. I kind of like the bemused expression on her face. It's kind of funny. That's just me, though. Yeah, overall, first edition toy is really good. That being said, though, she's not perfect. She's got some stability issues, but I think that's by design of her feet. Unfortunately, I mean, she stands okay, but you definitely gotta, you know, be a little bit careful. And as you can see, she just did a face plant, so, and that's not uncommon with this figure, unfortunately. You know, she does those face plants every so often, and just part of life with her. And the other thing is that she can't really hold standard 5mm pegged weapons all that well on her hand. I mean, you can sort of finagle it, but not really. So to me, that's kind of a major downside to the figure. But like I said, overall, really good. She looks good. and generally is a good mold. Now, let's talk about the Robots in Disguise Arcee. She's got a little bit of a different look. Obviously, she's not as tall as the Robots in the first edition Arcee. But you can definitely see it's since it's the same character essentially. You know, obviously we got a similar look. And this, of course, as you guys are probably aware of, I think I mentioned this earlier in the video, this is the mold that the upcoming Chromia is going to be based off of. So it'll be interesting to see that remold of this figure. Articulation-wise, she's fairly similar to the first edition. She bends real far at the knee. Doesn't really have much going on in the foot. She's got a thigh swivel, ball jointed hips, so all directions there. She does not have waist rotation. Ball jointed shoulder, ball jointed elbow, not double jointed. Ball joints there at the wrist, so we got rotation, you know, the whole 9 yards, and her head is on a ball joint. So overall, her posability is pretty good. It's not as good as the first editions. She doesn't have as many points of articulation, but she is still pretty posable. And of course, you got options for her weapons, just like you do the first edition. She comes with just a single blade instead of 2. And if you so choose, you of course can, you know, oops, arm her with it. And there she is with her battle blade. Now, you can, if you so choose, this is a cool thing here. I'm just going to set her down. I'm going to grab, just borrow the first edition's blades right here. Kind of set her, just kind of stand her back up. Alright, just stand over there. And if you so choose on the RID one, you can mount those blades on her arms. You know, give her the first edition's battle blades, which is pretty cool. The only downside to that really is the fact that that blue is obviously a different shade and doesn't match the RID version. That's the only downside to giving her those battle blades. Or if you want, you can even go one step further, of course, and you can mount the battle blades. You can stow them away on her legs, just like on the first. Nope, that's the wrong blade. Where'd the other blade go? Oh, still on her arm. You can mount them on her legs. So if you really want to, you can really just give this RID version major weaponry. Come on, go on there. Maybe not. Come on. There we go. There we go. And her gun, she actually has 2 ways she can hold her gun. It's got 2 handles. You can if you have her hold it in that, it looks like she's holding a traditional rifle. You know, nice big honking gun. Or if you want to go for another look, you can just put it on the other handle, and it slides over her hand, so it looks like the gun is an extension of her arm, just like on the show, which is a really nice touch. I really like that. Overall, I think this is an excellent mold as well. I give, even though the first edition has somewhat better posability, I'm still going to give the slight nod to the RID version. I think she is just an outstanding mold in robot mode. Just really well done. It's not to take anything away from the first edition, but I just think the RID one is better. I think, you know, if you want to have both of them, knock yourself out. I mean, what I like to do with characters is have one in robot mode and one in vehicle mode. If, you know, there's 2 similar molds of the same character, pick your favorite mode for each and, you know, display accordingly. Anyway, that's pretty much going to wrap this whole thing up. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, this is just a slight addendum to the video. I just figured this out when I was messing with these toys a little bit after I filmed. I actually realized you can mount the gun on the underside of the first edition's arm, and that looks pretty cool. So that's really awesome. I didn't even realize that until just now. I just think that's funny and just something I wanted to note. Anyway, that's it. Catch you later.